Hi, James here, and this is going to be a quick tutorial on Git and Shopify. So let's get into it. So first of all, let's just start with the Shopify side of things. So first of all, we want to think of a store name. This is going to be in your partner portal or wherever you're starting your store from. So for this, I'm going to just call it Git Tutorial. Git Tutorial, like so. So that'll be Git Tutorial on my Shopify. So for this section here, it's not going to be a bricks and mortar, so there's no POS automatically installed. And selling through another platform, no. Occasionally you might want to say which it is. We're going to answer no and no to those. It's going to be a development store. It's going to be git tutorial at myshopify.com. Nice and simple. So I'm just going to create a development store. And we'll just, whilst that's spinning away, we're going to have a look at Git. So I've basically gone to my Git account, logged in, and I've gone and found a Shopify Dawn repo. So for this, I'm going to fork my own copy because I want to apply some updates from Shopify. When the repo gets updated, I want to be able to push them in. So I'm going to copy the main branch only. I'm going to leave all this as default apart from here, and I'm going to call that Git tutorial. Git tutorial, and that's not taken, which is all good. So Shopify description, again, Git tutorial, just so it makes sense. Help if I spelt that right. That's what you get for doing late night typing. We've got Git tutorial. This makes sense to us. I'm going to create the fork. So inside of Shopify, once that's completed, you'll see here we've got online store themes. It should have already set one up, and it's going to be the default Dawn theme here. So the next step will be to connect this theme here in your repo, which is the fork, which is Git tutorial here, into Shopify. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to add theme, and we're going to say connect from Git. So what I've done here is I've already logged in to Git, so you will have to log in there, and my account is there, so you can add and remove accounts at the top, and there's repositories here. So there are a couple of different ways of doing this. So you'll see that I've got a couple of many different things, to be fair, in there. So I'm going to search for Git to see if it's shown up. Yes. So I've got no access to that repository. So inside of Git, we'll have settings, and we'll just check GitHub apps. We don't have any in there, so you will have to go down to where did they put it? There'll be settings, and then applications, and there's a couple of different options in here. I've been using Lighthouse to trigger Lighthouse co-testings on a workflow, so you won't need that. Vericel was something I was playing around with for hydrogen, oxygen. Since decided I'm not going to use that, I'm just going to use the Shopify way of doing it. Much quicker and easier, and you don't have to mess around with ngrok either. So Shopify, and we'll go to configure. And of course, I've got a 2FA. God damn it with the 2FAs. So now let's have a look. Find the 2FA. Not too bothered about that showing because it will change shortly. So we've got the repositories, and in the repositories, I've basically said only certain repositories will have access here rather than just all, because I really don't want everything to have access to it because I have many projects. So we find the Git tutorial one, add that to the list and save. Just going back a couple of steps, I'll put the link to the GitHub, but you will have to add this app to your Git account and configure it. Basically install it and then decide which repositories you want it to have access to, all of them or just some of them, and then click the save button. So if I now go back to Shopify and just give it a quick reload, and if we go back to there on my profile, and then if we go to add theme, connect from GitHub, usually remembers that you've logged in, that has access. You can see this has now not got the padlock, so we can just simply click that. So with the branches here, main is Shopify's default one. So if I go into repositories and there's a public one, it can be public or private, it doesn't matter. It will show you whether it's public or private in Shopify. So if we go to the Git tutorial, you can see my fork is there. I think there was some thing around not being able to make a fork private from a public, so that might be something you need to account for. I don't know whether the paid plan or the free plan unlocks that, or whether it's just a general thing across across GitHub there. So once we've done that, we can see main branch here. We can filter the branches here, and it's from this repository. So in this case, I'm just going to connect main. So that's the main branch. You can only connect a valid theme. So if it's going to be a theme, you must have the theme files in here for it to work. Otherwise, it'll just throw an error. It'll just say, you know, not valid theme. Once you've done that, you can see it's a copy of the live version, so version 11. And this is, I'm assuming, generated from the main Dawn repo. So we can see that it's just been updated, added, and here are the logs for it, which is all very lovely. And so what we want to do now is to say publish, publish. So this theme here is the one not connected to Git. So what I'm going to do is just remove it, because I don't need it there. So remove there. Wow, removed it. So now we've just got one theme, and if you click on main, you can see it's all there. So the next step, I guess, is branching. So say you want a live branch, and then you want developers to basically work on a theme or a feature that's based on your main branch, and then have it show up in the theme library. It's nice and simple. You just create a new branch and say it would be develop, like a staging one. Staging, develop, preview. I'm just going to call that staging. I mean, technically you don't really need develop and staging in this workflow, but yeah, anyway. So I'm going to call that staging, and then I'm going to say new branch, and let's just call this feature 1 for now, and then I'll create another branch called feature 2 just to show you how all this will work. So we've got our 3 different branches. Now, say a developer wants to work on this. Basically, they'll be working off of these branches, merging into staging, and this will all end up in here as a preview. So again, nice and simple, just go through. You've got all your features. I want to connect staging so we can combine multiple features into a possible release if needed, and then preview them, see if there's any bugs. And that should arrive there soon. I'm going to add the other feature, so I'm going to add feature 1, and then I'm going to connect another one, and that will be feature 2. So as you can see, we've got our main branch, production. We've got our staging preview here in case it's needed. And then we've got our feature 1, feature 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the code, and I want to clone this. So where's the clone button gone? Code. I'm going to open it with the desktop. I'd normally do this with command line, but not everyone is familiar with that. So I'm just going to get rid of that because that's not the folder I want it in. So repos, and I think I called it git tutorials, yeah, git setup, select folder. So this is where it's going to go. I'm just going to clone that in. Okay, so yep, generic, continue. That's all good. So let's just move that out of the way. And then this is some of the default files that I was looking at for this tutorial, because we want some of that. So I'm going to open, and then it's git setup, and I've got the git tutorial here. So this is our clone site now. So I'll click OK. I'm going to say this window. And here's the big README from the default theme from the fork. So you've got all the upstreams and fetches and whatnot. So if you wanted to submit then a change request or whatever, you could do that if you wanted to. So we've got everything in here, and I'm just going to go to assets, base CSS. Let's open up this. This is what git status. So we're on origin main. Git branch. This will give us our current branches. So locally, we don't have the other branches because we've not pulled on main yet. So those branches aren't there. So if we do a git pull, we've got an already up to date git status. Nothing to commit. Why has it not pulled it? Oh, it's because it's not logged in. So I need to git pull. I think it's because I was in another account. Damn it. Oh well. So I'm gonna fetch the branches. It's probably because there's no upstream or something. Yep, fetch successful. So we'll try git branch again. No, why? Why are they not there? Because they are here. Let's go into here. Repository, fetch. So, branch. Right, we've got a couple of changes in there. That's alright, that's just the IDs, folders and stuff. So we've got a bunch of stuff in there that's already changed. So git probably signed in as a different account. GitHub, which is that one. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know why. Okay, let's close all those. Let's have a look at our commit window. So we've got a bunch of here. Right, so I want to add my default files. So because I use gulp, I want to add a couple of files to the root of this. First of all, I'll probably figure out the branches after that. So if I go to my repos directory and just grab the files quickly, JSM, tutorials, defaults, and then I'll explain a couple of these things. So let's just copy those into the root. Okay. Yeah, README. I'm going to overwrite the README because I want my own README in there. And what have we got here? The git ignore. Yeah, I'm going to overwrite that. Theme check. I'm going to skip that one. And we've got all of these, which is fine. Okay, add. So let's have a look at our commit now. Yeah, git ignore, Shopify, git ignore. Okay. So git ignore, basically just ignore like things like PHP storms, settings folder, the ID folder, node modules, storms, etc. And this is for Apple, I believe. Not sure what this one is, or this one, or this one. But looks like Apple stuff, to be honest. Shopify ignore. So this is for the Shopify cli-3 ignore. I don't want it to look at these folders or this file because these are just going to be useless to Shopify anyway. These are just for our local environment and to keep in Git. So want to Shopify ignore those. Gulp file, nice and simple. Basically, it's in a Shopify 3 plus theme, CLI. Run npm from root folder, nice and simple. What does it do? Basically, it's gulp sass. Takes the sass files, compiles it into gulp, and then shoves it into the assets folder by name from the SCSS folder. Nice and simple. Yeah, could use Tailwind and other things like that, but at the moment I just prefer Sass. I've been working with Sass and less for 9 years, and it's just my go-to. Although I have tried lots of different methods of CSS and FE, it's just my preferred method. So we've got those in, and yeah, the project GitHub workflows. So workflows for me, I have a main YAML, and what this does is it basically triggers via a webhook a notification of a change, and that's all it does. So you can set that up. All you need to do is set up the secret for it in your GitHub. So, your secret Slack webhook. Get your secret, stick it in this variable for actions, Slack webhook. That's basically all I'm doing with that. Just so that I can see changes and then see what's going on, so I can see a PR quicker, rather than having to wait for an email. It'll just I can modify this to do the same, like PR request. It'll notify against the main branch. You could add in, like, I don't know, staging, perhaps there, nice and simple to edit. So let's get this committed. So I'm going to do all of that. Commit message init, defaults, commit and push. It'll do a bit of analysis, as always, give some warnings, but this is a brand new clean theme, so there shouldn't be too many. I'm just going to say commit and push anyway. This might fail because I've had to log out of one account and log into another. Yep, there it is. That's why those branches aren't turning up. So authorized, and then close that. So if we go into code, we should see init default showing up, which is there, which is all good. And if we go back to here, we can say view logs. Let's bring up logs, theme updated, receive files from GitHub, files fetched. And then it gives you the couple of warnings. So you got the ignores, etc. And gulp file was ignored, which is good. So that's all good. So this is working as it should. Just to demonstrate that, if we go to preview and we do a manual change. So let's do something in the assets folder that will show us a definite change. And if we go base, we'll just look for body, maximum width, and I'm just going to change background black. Nice and simple. So that's not changed. It won't have changed here. Pure and simple, we've not pushed the change yet. So if we go to the commit, do this, test change, for example, commit and push. Of course, loads of warnings, but hey, that's the linter that needs fixing, or the code. For now, I'm just going to ignore it for the tutorial. And then if we go back to here and refresh, and we'll go inspect, look at the body, and we'll see if the code has arrived there. So project base body has help if I put it in the right place, wouldn't it? Jeez, let's just do it nastily. Body, let's go full nasty on it and put an important there. So that commit push, and that's gone. That's fired over. That should be in there. And then if we reload, we'll go for the body background important. You can just see it there. So that's working just fine. That's all good. We know it's committing, so I'm just going to go back and undo that, because that's just awful. Save that, this, test change, undo. Okay, so we know that's all working. Git is set up and it's pushing. Shopify's picking up changes and pulling it to the theme. So for this part, I need to now npm install. Windows might give me some kickback about this. Sometimes it doesn't install properly because of permissions and PowerShell stuff. I'd rather be in Linux, but for CLI 3 you need a particular library that my preferred Linux operating system no longer has. Some issue with a library in CentOS 7, but the whole of CLI-3 depends on it. Should be okay on an Apple. I think it does work on that, and in Windows it works as well. So I'm slightly behind on this, so I might as well tackle that at the same time. So let's get this updated. See if there's any breakages. Got an unsupported engine. Let's not do that now. I will have to figure out updating that in a little while. Looks like there's something I need to allow for. Anyway, so we've got that installed. Let's see if it runs. Usually just runs. So we've got the gulp file, we've got SCSS, so new file, and I'm just basically doing this to demonstrate the CLI-3 and the workflow for Git. So if we go to git SCSS, so it's not like less where you have to do the underscore thing like in Magento. Mega frustrating. So for this, I'm going to say git tut, and we'll just go for background black, and I'm just going to say padding. So what I'm going to do here is just put some random div in there just to show you what's going on. So I need some actual height and width to it. So I'm saying padding 15, width 100%. So let's pick a file. Let's go to sections. Did we have an announcement bar? We did. The welcome to store one. So let's pick on that section. And I'm going to duplicate that. And this will be called git-tut. So with the gulp file I've created, it'll take the SCSS file name and it'll place it in the assets folder as git-tut CSS. So I'm just going to put that in there. Asset URL type style sheet, and we'll see that the div here. So if I do div class, and it's going to be git-tut. In this case, this is a tutorial. Blah blah. So let's do that. So if we do this, we can see in PHP Storm that we've now got the SCSS and the CSS in assets. And of course the package lock's been generated because of the npm install, and we've changed the liquid bar. So that's all good. And we're gonna so test change SCSS commit push anyway, push. So when we go back to our site after it's pushed, hit the reload a couple times, see if it does it. Yeah, there we go. So we've got our black bar hidden in there. Will be the text that says this is a tutorial. So for CLI-3, it's in the README here. So the HTTPS store name URL is basically this. So if we take this and then we go back to the project, and we'll just edit that little README. So I do this to make it easier for myself and others. So CLI-3, we want this to be this. So I'll copy that and then paste it over that. So I need to go into the edit mode for it, and we need to put this one in there, and then we'll do the same here. And then for the CLI theme dev, we'll also put it in there and save that. So we'll just put update readme. Oh, I think I need a new keyboard, and we'll commit that. So with this, I put it in here so that we can just copy it, and then from your terminal window. So currently, if I just clear that mess, I'll have to sort that out later. If I clear that, I'll paste this command in. So Shopify theme dev store git tutorial my Shopify URL. This command here is saying exclude all SCSS and .map. So when the CLI hot reload refreshes the page, I'm telling it not to do that on SCSS, because it'll start refreshing like twice, because it'll detect the change in the SCSS and or the map, and then just reload the page. Really, you don't want that. You only want it to reload when the CSS is changed. So if I do this, and we'll just bring this across here a little, just so you can see what's happening. We don't want it reloading, basically. So Shopify theme dev. So this is in cli-3 for themes. There are a bunch of dependencies, different installation process on different operating systems as well. And it's giving me something about the authorization. Can't use Shopify CLI stores if you only have a partner or staff. Well, I've got to log out Shopify theme. Log out, I think it was. Yes. This should mean I have to log in. It's because I run multiple accounts, multiple partner accounts, so that's something that will get in the way of you doing things. So I've got to go to my partner account now, and if I do that, log in. Yeah, so I'm logged in. So press any key to continue, and let's get rid of that one because that's not who I am today. So log in. I've got my authentication code. Another frustration, so many authentication codes. And let's find the correct login. Oh, yeah, it's changed again. So once you've logged in, and return to the terminal window. That's all good. So this is syncing the theme files over. So we can close this window now, and we're back here. So once this is finished syncing, you'll be able to click on one of these for the preview, your local preview. So basically, it's a proxy thin client. Password protected. So if we go to that one, password protected, git tutorial. So you'll need to go back to your dashboard, see the store password, and I'll change that afterwards as well. So I'll just grab that, paste in, editor, and go back to the home. So, yeah, update that. So, okay. This would be technically production, the one that would be behind the URL, your live URL. This one is the thin client, basically. So this one is served to your local via a Cloudflare tunnel. So we will close this one because we don't need it. And if we grab that one and put it into here, why are you not doing your thing? Oh, Chrome's having a moment. So this one here is the thin client one. This is your Git, which we can just fidget out of the way, and it would appear that everything's synced, so that's good. I'm gonna open up a new thing, a new terminal, so Shopify, just to make sure, theme pull. Oh, damn it. Shopify theme pull. So, the two ways of getting the information down and to make sure that you're in sync with main. So, the main purpose of this is that everything you push from Git goes into Shopify. And that's great news. But in the other respect, everything you do within Shopify that's code-based will then push automatically to Git, so that you can keep up to date with your main branch when your feature branch is pulled out of it. So if I make a change here, it's going to end up in Git. So let's say we're going to do some customization work. Yeah, okay, whatever. I've got some weird cookie setting. So I didn't know that. So in incognito, I can't do that because of cookies. Interesting. So let's not do it that way then. Let's just go into edit code. Didn't expect that. So let's say we're going to edit something on the index page. So gifts, we've got shop all. I think there was a message banner somewhere, talk about the brand. So that's message. Okay, so that's not there. Banner. There we go. Image, banner. Banner. So say there was some text here that we just want to change. The give customers details about the banner images or content. I'm just going to put this is some info. So you'd normally do this from the customizer, but because of my privacy settings, it's not going to let me. So this is from the image banner. Give customers blah blah blah. So I'm going to save that. So if we refresh the page, you see our text there is now this is some info. Interestingly though, what I wanted to demonstrate with that is on your local instance, well, your proxied instance, it'll still have the other information. So the way that you get that down to your local instance to work on is either if you're working on the main branch exclusively, let's just do it that way, then we would do the Shopify theme pull and then git tutorial main, which effectively does a git pull origin main. So in git, if I go back to git, you'll see in what is it? Git tutorial. Templates, and then index. And 1 minute ago this was updated. Talk about your brand, share information. So if I go for searching for banner again, image banner, and okay, yeah, well, there it is. This is some info, line 16. So the change inside of git for the production on main has automatically pushed to git, and that's what I wanted to demonstrate. And then to get this to your local, you basically Shopify theme pull, hit the 1 key, and it'll then resync the files. So it's theme pulled. In theory, that should have synced. So when we reload, yeah, there it is. This is some info. So if we were to make a change here, and you really want to use your git control, it's pretty simple. So you know you're on the main branch, it says it there. However, your operating system tells you. So if you do a git status, just to check, I mean there's a lot in there because I've just resynced. So if I do a git pull against main, because that's where it's been updated, you'll see that the change on live has happened. So that's templates index.json, and this is where it'll go slightly out because we've not committed the change into our repo. So it has changed since. So it's changed on live. So I'm just going to say git checkout and then the file name, because then that'll reset our local changes, because at the moment we just want to update. So I'll do a git pull, and then it'll say 1 file changed, blah blah blah. So if we look at the commit, we've got all the translations, etc. So I'm happy that everything from live is now local, so I can just do a git add, and my git ignores are filled out. So I'm all happy with that. So I'm just going to git add all. Git status, just to double check. All good. Git commit the message, theme backfill from live, and then if I do a git push origin head, that should do it. Oh yeah, wonderful. I've not set this up where I've got to automatically log in, so in PHP Storm, you would do a git push, so because that's where the credentials are at, because it's not using SSH or a key or anything like that. It's just URL based in Windows for me at the moment. So that should be pushed. So on the live site, this is some more information has shown up, and then here this will have already updated. So next thing is if we want to check out a branch. So branches, remotes, origin, feature 1, checkout. You could just do git checkout feature -1. So there's a lot of changes there. So we need to update the feature with main. So git merge main, and this probably just work, I'm hoping, without any conflicts. Doesn't look like it's conflicted, which is all good. So then git push. So all of this stuff from live is going into feature. You can see this all update because it's my local. So currently we're on feature 1. So feature 1 is, this is our preview of feature 1. So if we go to sections, and let's sort the this banner out. Let's just say color -white. Let's go white. So when gulp's running, when I click save, I'll compile the CSS, and then it'll reload this bit. So let's see what went wrong there. So git up, this is a tutorial, and it should be saying white. Should have updated. My cache is doing something weird today. Did I cancel the run? Yeah, I did. Okay, so I'll save that. There we go. It's updated. This is a tutorial. Blah blah blah. Totally forgot that wasn't running. So basically, we in the feature we got told to change the color of the text to white because we couldn't see against the black. So that's gonna be our feature as an example. So if we look at the commit, we've got the CSS and the SCSS. Do it in your preferred way. I'm just going to say feature 1 update text commit push. Yep, those are the files I want to push. So that's going to go off into feature 1. So from a dev perspective, we've done the work locally and we've pushed it to Git and it's tested just fine. From the client perspective, when they want to go and see it, if we go back into here, we've set up Git tutorial, which is this one. It's just been updated, and if we go to preview, we'll see that the text is fine. But if we go to the current live site, we'll see that the text oh yeah, it's because the bloody preview cookie. So if I close the preview, you'll see that the text is still not readable on live, and yeah, bloody cookie, so frustrating. So that's all good. We know that that's fine, and now in the workflow, you know that feature 1 is tested out fine. The client's previewed it on this this preview site. It's all good, and you want it in main. So I am gonna stop my task runner, and I'm gonna I'm gonna check out the main. We'll do this in here. So git check out main. So I want to make sure the changes are there, so I'm going to have to do this until I set it up properly. So git pull, everything's there, nothing to change. That means everything's okay. I'm going to merge. What's it? Feature 1 that was changed. Git merge feature 1. 2 files changed, 3 insertions, 2 deletions, and we've got this. And then we will push that. So if I get push and push, so that's pushed and committed. So we go back to our live site, and we should see the text change color. So that's how to set up Git, work with Git. There are some caveats. So if you're running the task runners in this way, sometimes you may want to make sure that somebody's not gone into the theme editor and gone, oh yeah, I'll just edit that CSS file, because the task runner will just overwrite that when you merge it. It may come up with a merge conflict, so you can solve the issue, see what they've done, and then do it in the way that you want them to do it. With the cli-3, sometimes there are items that will pull down and will overwrite changes, so you just have to be a little bit careful with those changes. And then if we go back to origin main, which we're on, that's all good. So if we do a git status, that should be all fine then. Yeah, nothing to commit, working pretty clean. So I hope that's helped. I hope I haven't gone on too much. Yeah, there you go. That's how to do the Git thing with Shopify. It's pretty simple. Yeah, leave a like, comment below if it's been useful. Sorry if I've whittled on a bit. I've been James, and that's how to do Git in Shopify.